Kosua na ti era one radio empenyini say yensoma na motenten yesoma banyasafo era one radio yedin nsem anomuaye ebre. Kosua na ti era one radio empenyini say yensoma na motenten yesoma banyasafo era one radio yedin nsem anomuaye ebre.
Aden urefiana se to me manya eni about Aden wasua mani suwa fosunade Aden me ba Aden kra ya useni da swasa eni da sonsa kra eni da sonsa yo eni da sonsa ya men subi eni da sonsa eni da suwa eni da sonsa oh adio get to say eni da sonsa.
Hello, good evening, Era One Radio listeners all over the world. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Modern Ghana Radio. Etief when you remember Munina Kwaba, Mamoko Juma, Mamuti, Fini, and Maya, and Susiana, Mamuna Kwaba, in Brain. Now, in Brain, we are back on Divine Connection Show, and I'm your host, Charles Boison. May early part of the year, no, precisely 4th of January. Many Dr. Manu started series via Tony, the New Year, New You. And the objective was that say, wash off faithful from last year. And then maybe a year last year now I'm no. Now you go and say we'll be to my head. As because Bible crash say, so what taught in suffer from now would good to other than man. I'm say bo. Into maybe a year previous year now I'm working. Yes, day. Yes, sir. Into a imbre you better also. You better take it back from New Year, New, but this time we are looking at some kaya. Dr. Manu mentioned maybe about financial breakthrough. Pharmacy, one said that to pay pharmacy to MBS the mante. Let me so you better baba because it's part of our New Year, New You. So you new you are, you have to change some things. Into your say better, you baba back never take it financial in very well. All right, into more Munum Dr. Manu. Dr. Manu you'll be or being for on also called warden when you're a PhD or a doctor into who shall not volunteer. Untumi kasa se bra but David we sua their power and into who na me pa chowa for doctor na ka ho no or you say maybe be say or the 2 years back on fear unto who na for doctor and prefix na come because we sua there. Doc, we are going to look at New Year, New You, baby steps for financial breakthrough. But as you know, I always like to start with some humor or some warm facets. Let me ask you up front. Are you a soccer fan?
I am.
I
used to be a soccer player until I started wearing glasses.
Oh, okay. Then you are the right person for tonight. All right. So the AFCON is still going on. And of course, we are commercial brand and the board. They open me also me ball. I find from primary school Harrow to Augustine Sianami Bobia. They do baby now this channel Ganam. They do baby a cast. So open so soon they quit and Fabonka. I don't know why they give us that impression because you're so boy. Yeah, can be a banana. Yes, for yambre route your coffee. But coast square because soon I do Kobo Kaka so Kubola for the bubble. But Omam Kobo and suit me say, Omunias capacity is a messy. Ubet me out to Ghana and the Sikawa. Anyway, in just here, AFCON Ghana and shoot. Yeah, yes, yeah, coffee. Ebi mo blame coaching, ebi mo say players. All right, maybe say out front. So see, I'm pay another coach. Idea be call World Cup. World Cup near around March. In fact, say coach be bit me afa no boy.
I think say Michelle match, you know.
Okay.
There are always two sides to the equation.
Okay.
Coach, you know, on that player. So we define the coach or a guide, or a motivator, or an inspirer, or an encourager. I observed the coach very much, and I saw when the match was being played, the coach was always folding his arm like this and touching his face when it doesn't go our way. Okay, I don't know what he's already told the players and San Womo field the hall. On the other hand, me who said Comoros coach in the near break or Haley now or TM now or encourage ball now kuya na ya, and so it sends a message to the players. It's just like we a pastor now we preach it, now we want enthusiasm, now we catch fire, what's up from mother so catch fire. Into the mechanic said they need to find a Ghanaian coach who understands us. This guy is from the East Europe, okay? He doesn't speak our language. He doesn't understand our culture. And so to bring someone who is foreign to Ghanaian culture, it also demerits us in some way. So imagine some players who don't even speak good English. Into then coach in communicating. There will be a third person, and it's a breach of communication. My advice is we are Ghanaians, proud Ghanaians. There are so many people omubitimiya coachy Black Star, omunya brofo, omunya foreigners. We need to use our resources. Into kakra pesa mekano.
Awesome. I couldn't have said it any better. Of course, we'll be our board. Yeah, what's the game now? Say, you rightly said it because a coach, me share born, me share coach, and other countries in your coaches, almost very, very assertive, moving around, guiding. I say, and fun, who be hey, now same but anyway, that is a dominion. You can't go far. Anyway, we are still warming up. All right, and there, Morocco ni Malawi boy. Morocco share Malawi 2-1. Senegal also share Cape Verde 2-0. And China no your Ivory Coast in Egypt. We don't know. And yeah, one Malawi Susuni Equatorial Guinea, and then we move to the quarterfinal. All right, let's go to predictions. Cast will be uncle bet you. Dr. Manu Asmo Becker will be uncle Fanco bet, and I can say Dr. Manu Amu and win. All right, see Ivory Coast in Egypt. Your prediction. One I'll show about Bruni Ango.
Menadia, when it comes to prediction, I'm always on the winning side. Ghana losing, but I was happy for Comoros. Comoros is a country of less than 1 million people. Ghana is we are heading towards 30 million, if not already past 30 million.
Yeah, we are there already. Mm-hmm.
We are there already. Until we should have good resources, a bit more pushing forward. Comoros, and yes, soccer cranky and tea womudinda.
Exactly.
Obian in Madagascar. But Comoros, dear, what's Madagascar what to Ujanwa and Ubi Huno. How many people have heard of Comoros? The gravity and I'm casting drove through Biaba. True. Ghana needs to maintain we need to use our people. Don't bring any foreign expatriates. Sometimes we like expatriates, but in this case, I wouldn't encourage us to bring any foreign national to coach the Black Star.
Okay, all right. We'll rest our case there because this thing itself can be a whole discussion. I'm sure some many Dr. Manu now soccer and come up. I like you for that. All right. So tonight, like I said, we are broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube. Please call a friend, share whatever we are discussing. It's very, very important. This man is very, very scarce, very, very busy, but I was able to draft him again. So Dr. Manu, I can't overemphasize how grateful I am having you on this show tonight. All right. If you want to invite somebody to our show tonight, the number to call in, you can call in and share your ideas or ask a question is 240-280-3282. 2633. And if you want a text, it's 5109310946. I see some people already join us. My niece, as usual, all the way from UK, Comfort has joined us. Comfort, you are comfortably welcome as your name goes. And I have Sister Vida Yawuni, you're also welcome. Anybody watching us tonight, you are welcome. Share your ideas. And Dr. Manu, thank you very much. And also thank you to Sister Vera and your daughter for allowing on to be on, because I know it's dinner time. All right, so we are going to our discussion, as we mentioned. I said on the 4th, we did our first show, which was New Year, New You. We looked at setting goals, and we tackled issue like, is it a good practice to have a vision or goals for every year? And then why are most visions or goals not attainable? Because some people say the goals too high. And then for believers or Christians, Habakkuk 2, chapter 2-3 tells us to write the vision and see it clearly to come to pass. So some of the things we did was that with Dr. Manu, and he aptly answered our question. So today we are looking at another section of our goals. I think this might be a series as long as Dr. Manu's time is available. So we'll be looking at this series as the year goes through. We'll do a mid-year program and find out how we are doing. Of course, I believe you've set your own resolutions, your New Year goals. And it is not a matter of just setting the goals, but setting them and to be able to achieve them. All right. So on the other side of the studio in the hot seat is Dr. Charles Manu, my namesake, who is so smart and learned, and he is in the seat helping us to discuss these questions. We are going on to baby steps. He calls it the very fundamental. Of course, you know, Mondays, everyone does some financial premier, that is on the higher level, but he wants us to start from the very basic so that everybody will flow with that and understand. Again, invite somebody to invite somebody. All right, Doc. So we are looking at baby steps, and we'll be looking at 7 or 8 steps tonight. As long as and as far as time takes us, we'll just take it there. All right, so we are looking at emergency fund. These are some of the factors we are looking. We're going to look at emergency fund. We'll look at stuff like what is it? Debt snowballing. We'll look at investment and what percentage. We'll be looking at college funding. These are all very, very important. And then paying off your home loan. And as time allows, we'll chime into the diaspora, helping Ghana in a way, Africa, and what we can do to help our people. So let's begin with the emergency fund. If somebody says emergency fund, what does it mean?
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I have to start by saying our culture has had a great influence over our lives as immigrants here in the United States. Ghanaians typically operate on the basis of emergency. Okay. If your phone rings early in the morning and the news break that your family member has passed, it's not just information. They are asking you for money. Okay. If somebody gets sick and get admitted at the hospital, they are informing you, but they need money. Okay.
So let me put a joke here. So when they call you, almost for a while, and you depend on what no musuno, then Mombias can anyone as a call Muntumukono, no more musun to be swan. Yeah, just because the family member pass a better move, scout the back and I say a year no back any problem. Anyway, continue.
Absolutely. And so we as immigrants, we need to be aware that emergencies will happen. It's a matter of time.
Okay.
And I hate to use the word we, because in Ghana, we never prepare for anything. I speak with my mom every week and I ask her, what are your wishes when you pass? Hey, Kwabna, I don't want to discuss that because as soon as I start this discussion, I may not last. And they put it on the side, okay? It puts me at a very precarious situation because then I don't have any plan towards my mom's death. Death is inevitable.
That's true.
So let's remove death from the equation. If you live in this country, it's just a matter of time that you would have a need. Okay. If you have children, they will grow, whether you like it or not. They're not going to fit into their shoes and their clothes and so on and so forth. If you happen to own a house or own a car, the car will ultimately break down somewhere, somehow. Okay? Your faucet, your plumbing, your roof, something may happen. Okay? At that time, you cannot call Ghana and ask your parents to send you money because Western Union is only one way. Okay?
Unfortunately,
it only goes to Ghana. It's
it
just
doesn't come
one
back.
side of the equation. It's only at the receiving side.
We are going to change the trend. We are best
And yet,
almost sending him, bruh.
you know, they will laugh at you. You know, you will be a laughing stock. Okay, if you call home and ask them to send you money because you are broke.
But about him say Nigeria, ebimu ediskafi we betua omomba school fees or US. So what is that?
Oh, Ghana, you know, 1 year
okay.
But it's about 1%.
Okay.
It's about 1%. Sometimes I wonder where they get the money from. Because truth be told, Ghanaians don't get paid as much.
But the bisu is scapa.
But it's only 1%. Okay. So what I'm saying is tonight, if you're listening to me, I need you to hear me out. Exactly. I need you to start saving for emergency. I call it emergency fund. Start with $1,000. If your income is less than $20,000 a year, you can start with $500. I cannot tell you how you will get $1,000, but you know, what are the things that I can scratch out of my budget in order for me to save $1,000? And saving $1,000 will not solve all your problems, but it's just going to be a start. It's just going to be like cushion. Okay? Yeah, that's quite full no. Anyway. Because if you are not in mood. Okay. And so please, if you are listening to me tonight, and I wish somebody had told me when I came to this country so many years ago that Charles, put $1,000 on the side because it's gonna come in at a rainy day. It's gonna come in handy. Okay. There are 3 ways that we save. Sometimes we save for emergencies. Okay. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I have to put $1,000 down. Sometimes we save for purchases. Okay. If your dining room table should break, you cannot expect your children to sit on the floor to eat.
That's true.
Okay. So you save that this dining table has been there for 10, 15 years. It's on its last leg. So I need to start saving towards purchasing a new dining room set. Okay. And then we save for wealth building. And that is a different topic altogether. So my advice, my first baby step advice is save $1,000, put it in an emergency fund, a savings account where you don't have a debit card or checks and so on. Don't even think of a PIN number. Open it in another state where you don't live so that you will not have access to the money. What do you call it? Handy. Okay.
Okay.
But it's there for you. If you need it, you can always withdraw the money. But at this time, I want you to put that money aside. If you don't mind, discuss with your family and say, hey, honey, I need to start saving. You and I, we need $2,000.
Exactly.
Okay. However, you get the $2,000, discuss with your spouse and put that money aside for me. Thank you.
That is a very good advice. I believe and I hope our listeners will chime in because this is free consultation. This is free advice. It doesn't cost you a dime, but this advice will actually propel you and take you further. Thank you very much, Dr. Charles. All right, so let me read a few of our listeners or viewers' comments. I promise to be very, very polite. And so Vida said, good evening, children of God. Thank you very much, Sister Vida. And then Comfort that earlier on made a comment when we were talking about soccer, although it's gone, but I just want to be polite and just read it. They have changed the name as well. No Star is black. How can you shine when you are black? All right, we'll take it another time and talk about that. All right, so Doc, you mentioned the emergency fund. And then most financial analysts, and of course, you alluded to that some time ago and even now, that we need, I think in our last series, we need up to 3 to 6 months of savings to help us in a time of need or crisis. All right, so how did they come up with this 3 to 6 months? Why not 1 to 2, or why 3 to 6, and how does that work?
Okay, so if you are a professional listening to me, you will agree that it takes 3 to 6 months to get a professional job. Okay, I work for the District of Columbia government. I put in my application in July. I got interviewed in August. It took them 6 months to bring me on board in February of 2007.
Okay.
6 months. Okay. So hypothetically, if you were to lose your job, Dr. Boison, and you start looking for a job at usa.gov, okay, by the time the application date closes, by the time they use all the keywords to determine who is most qualified, by the time they recertify everything and then they call you for an interview, it's probably about 2-3 months from there.
That's true.
Okay. By the time they do the second round of interview, by the time they send you an offer letter and you go through negotiation of your pay, it's almost 6 months.
Wow.
Okay. So what we advise is tough, but I have to speak it out. If you were to lose your job today, be ready to have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved. Okay, that includes your rent or your mortgage.
Okay.
That includes your groceries. That includes your transportation. That includes everything that you are used to. There are no cutting corners. You cannot tell your young child that today we're just going to eat once a day. Okay, you cannot tell them we're going to eat rice and beans or gari and beans. Therefore, suck it up. Okay, they will, but they still want the options. This country is full of options. Even in cereal, when you go to the cereal aisle, it's a whole row of aisles.
Yeah, varieties.
If you don't want cornflakes, you may want Cheerios. If you don't want Cheerios, you may have this and that and that. There are some children who are used to a variety of cereals. And so to tell them that we don't have money for your favorite brand is going to be something. Okay, so this is a good advice. If you can, you are about to complete your taxes, don't send the money away. I know your project in Ghana is begging for your attention. Put some money aside, because if you were to lose your job today, you cannot sell part of your house that you're building in Ghana to pay your rent or your mortgage. That is this is vital, it's quintessential, it's imperative. Okay, so for most families, it ranges between $10,000 to $15,000 on a different account. Okay, it ranges between 10 to 15,000. So just imagine you have less money saved for that emergency period. I just want you to think about it. I want it to sink a little bit, because it may be difficult for some of us to absorb. But think about it. Think through the process. If you have a family, you cannot just move in with a friend telling them that I have not been able to make my mortgage payment, and therefore we're going to squat at your basement.
That's true.
Your wife may not agree. Your children may not like it. What then do you do?
Wow. This is good advice. This is good advice, because sometimes we've been where we were born and bred. It looks as if people work, and they cannot have anything to show up, because it's something we were not taught of. I believe in the schools here, they are taught how to save, budget, and put something down. But somehow in other parts of the country, savings wasn't part of their plan. So whatever they got, they just squandered it. And times have changed, because if time changes and you don't move, you stay there. So we got to move. That is why one is giving you all this knowledge. So thanks to Dr. Osetutu for giving us this platform for us to discuss. And thanks to Dr. Manu for availing himself. Tonight we are discussing New Year, New You. How you can take baby steps in your financial aspect. Of course, there are so many goals you might have put down at the beginning of the year. It's okay, I want to read the Bible from cover to cover. You want to do this. And so these are some of the goals that you want to do. You want to make sure you are, because when you set these steps down and you follow them, trust me, at the end of the year, you have something to show up, because we are so used to blaming the devil for everything. And I keep saying to myself that, devil, why don't you also just get born again so people don't keep blaming you for everything? Because we blame the devil for everything. we can't save, our car breaks down and we are in a hole and say the devil caused my car to. Sometimes it happens, but then you also have to be proactive. We don't have to be blaming the devil for everything. Like Dr. Manu said, if you have this emergency fund down, if something happens, oh honey, don't worry, we have something stashed, let's go and pay for it. Otherwise you begin to fret, you stress, and your BP goes up. And the next time we hear gone too soon, we don't know why, because they didn't set up stuff. That is why we are doing this education tonight. And so please follow us. All right, these things have been spelled out. Dr. Manu has rightly said them, how to set up emergency fund. All the questions that I had, he already answered them, so I'm not going to go over because of time. All right, we're going to.
Can I add something?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. We are still in January.
Okay.
If so you know you're going to go to Ghana in December, this is the time to start planning. Okay. Put $200, $300 aside every month. Don't depend on purchasing your airfare with a credit card. Because when you go to Ghana, they're going to hail you. Big Burger is in town.
Yes, or the cash.
By the time you decide to return, you will probably be borrowing.
Exactly.
Okay? So what evil are you creating for yourself? Going to Ghana, enjoy yourself, dish out money, and then you come back and you are steep and deeply in debt to the almighty credit card. Okay? Let the credit card company also suffer by planning and using your own resources. Okay? And this is just one of many things that we can pre-plan.
Awesome.
Okay? Going on vacation is not an emergency. Exactly. If you want to go on a vacation, you put money aside every pay period, okay, called vacation fund. And then when the time comes in the summer, your children are out of school, you put them on a plane or you drive them from wherever you are to the next town, spend the rest of the time at the hotel or museum park, whatever it is, okay? So it's all about planning. Don't wait till June when your kids are out of school and they're begging you, daddy, take us somewhere. And then you pack all of them, go to Florida, go to California, to Disneyland, Disney World, okay? Everything is priced, okay? It's not for free. If you've been there before, you know how much tickets cost to go to all these amusement parks, okay? It's all about planning. The white folks that we associate with, they just don't take their children on vacation, they plan.
That's true. And
some of them also have endowments that you and I don't. Okay? We don't have any grandparents who have left us their hard-earned money. We don't. That's the truth. And so planning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, of course, you've heard the adage that says, if you fail to plan, you're actually planning to fail. So what Dr. Manu is saying is that if you want to travel, you want to go to any part of the world, be it Ghana, Australia, California, wherever you want to go, we are already in January. If you want to go in December, start planning now. Save money. You don't have to wait till last minute. November is okay. Make a family credit card now. Make a cheat. I mean, we should desist from that. You can plan your vacation. Wait, you plan such a way. Say, no, we're saving now for our vacation. We'll be cheer for everything. That even brings my mind to the issue of even wedding. Some people are even in the habit of borrowing. As I'm speaking now, somebody's borrowing money to go and marry. I'm not saying it's wrong, but if you and your fiancé or spouse plan very well, you can even save, take up a couple of years. You can even save and pay for your wedding flat without even going abroad, because people have finished their wedding, they go to your honeymoon, they come back and they are fighting because the credit card is upon them. Anyway, I'm not going to that anyways.
Oh, Doc, and one more thing, okay?
Yes, sir.
I had this sound advice, which has always been part of my life.
Okay.
The person told me, if you were to go to Ghana, or if you decide to go to Ghana every year, if you happen to take $10,000 with you, make sure you tell your brain, I only have 9,000.
Exactly.
Take $1,000, put it under your socks, your shoes, whatever,
Untouched.
wherever place that you think is going to be safe. Come back with $1,000. Okay? Because the fact of the matter is, whatever amount of money you take home, you probably will spend all of them.
All of them, yeah.
Because there are a lot of needy people in Ghana. And so if you tell yourself, I only have $9,000 with me, absolutely, when it's gone, it's gone. Okay? I always do that, and I always bring money back from Ghana.
Well, even if you want to bring it back, or even to take it with you, that could be another form of emergency fund. I'm not touching it, but anything can happen on your last moment. Anything can happen because people take money there, and the last minute they are broke. That is where, like you said earlier on, also because they won't understand. So, like you said, if you leave that 1,000 somewhere, you might even decide to put in some account or give it to a relative, which I don't advise, because what if also in some boom? So success not be show. Maybe I'd say your wife and say and available. But the last minute now could be about 1 week ban. You can use it. That is a very sound idea. All right, Dr. Many's been talking so much, and I'm sure he needs a tinkling, maybe a drink of water. So how about I take a quick commercial? There's this nice hospital in Ghana which actually planned. I don't know how many years it took them to plan, but they planned financially where they've been able to establish a very nice hospital in Ghana. So if you're on vacation, as Dr. Manu said, you're on vacation and you need a very good place to go and, go for a checkup or check your headache, don't hesitate. Go to Urban Hospital, Banahini, and they will take care of you. Let's go.
Hello, beautiful people of Ghana. This is Banahini Specialist Hospital. We are so excited to announce to our people Ghana that we are finally opened and we are accepting patients. At Banahini Specialist Hospital, our extraordinary physicians and nurses are here to provide a high-quality medical service to our extraordinary patients. Our services include primary care services, maternal, neonatal, and pediatric services. We also have an in-house pharmacy. We have X-ray and laboratory services available to you. Come to us for all your healthcare needs, and you will be happy you did, because we believe the health is wealth. Thank you, and stay blessed.
Awesome. All right. So Dr. Many was talking about the need to plan even if you have to travel to Ghana or elsewhere. All right. So Comfort made a comment earlier on when we were talking about, when I mentioned Satan needs to be born again, so we don't blame him. Yeah, she retyped, okay, born again Satan, please do with Satan. All right, so Boison is also joined us. She said, Proverbs 21 verse 5, he said, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. And Bible says in Proverbs 3:5 again, in that same Proverbs 6, that trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all thy ways, acknowledge him and he shall direct your path. Directing your path also means that you're having the wisdom you need to plan your life very well. Sometimes we dive so much into the spiritual and we forget about the physical aspect. And we come up with the phrase, oh, nyamebe, so we stop to plan. And people die and there is no financial plan for them. That is what sometimes some people in the diaspora do. They don't plan financially. Something happens to them and people are going around doing GoFundMe. I'm not saying it's bad, but if you plan very well and all this with life insurance and everything, when you die, people don't have to go begging before they bury you. That is on the side. All right, so let's go back. Dr. Manu, we're going to talk about snowballing. It's a very nice term. I try looking it up. It's something that will give you a momentum to pay your debts. They say, okay, pay your debts, starting with the small debt you have, pay them off. You get the momentum to be able to pay the bigger one. Or as the name goes, snowballing, have snow, it kind of moves, it rolls down the hill and all that. And so you are trying to pay your small debts, and then as you gather momentum, you will be able to pay the bigger ones. Dr. Many, my question is, first, I'll let you define in your own way what you mean, what what I said is exactly what you put it, or you have a different, since I would say profit chairman, you can explain better in your own words what the debt snowball means. And then, tell us whether we need to pay our small debts first, or we need to pay our debts that have the higher interest rate. So it's in your court.
Well, you did very well.
Thank you.
I wouldn't have said it any better. So there is always the temptation to look at the finance charge. Okay. If I have a debt of 5,000 and I have another one for 500, it is best. The rule of thumb is pay off the 500 first by making minimum payment on the $5,000 debt. Okay. If the minimum payment on that is 125 and you are able to pay 130 for the 5,000, that will be great.
Okay.
But as soon as you're done paying the 500, if you have another credit card debt of $1,000, tackle that. And so, for example, if you were paying $200 on the $500 credit card and you are able to pay it off, you use the 200, add it to the one that you owe $1,000 on it, and tackle that. Hopefully, by the end of the year, you would have been able to pay the $500 and the $1,000 off, and then you tackle the 5,000.
Okay.
Here is the catch. Okay, a lot of us think, oh, if I'm able to purchase it today, I know I'll be able to pay it off at the end of the month. Let me share something with you. A lot of us who live here in the continental USA have heard of the term 90 days same as cash. Okay, it's a good bait, and credit card companies make billions and billions of dollars on this particular phrase, 90 days same as cash. Okay, there is a likelihood that you will be able to pay the debt completely, pay it out completely. That is the likelihood.
Okay.
But in the event that you are not able to pay off the whole entire amount within 90 days, they compound the interest from the first day of purchase.
Okay.
Okay. So, for example, if you go to a store, a furniture store, to buy a dining room set, and they will definitely offer you 90 days same as cash. Okay. If the whole dining set costs you $2,500, they say, oh, no deposit, no payment until 90 days. Okay. It's very enticing. You got to be careful. If you don't have the money, go back, walk away. Okay, because things happen where you thought you would have been able to pay everything off in 90 days, but life happens.
That's true.
Okay, your car may break down and you determine between fixing your car versus paying off the dining room set. Your pipes may freeze and break, and you have this emergency hanging around your neck. You need to fix your pipes first before you pay for the dining room set. Your mom will call you and say, hey, Kwado, you're me to hospital. You cannot avoid sending money to your parents.
That's true.
Okay? So be careful of 90 days same as cash, because you're going to pay extremely more than what you had earmarked for. And so snowballing is good. My advice is hard advice, but I need to spell it out. If you don't have the money, don't make the purchase. If you will make that capital purchase, use cash. Use cash, your hard-earned saved cash. Because if you go to a store and you count $100 bill, 1,000, 2,000, 2,003, and you're going to give to someone, you're going to think through the process. It's not easy.
But Doc, Obibeka said, me card na any easier chance and me kind so was na man for no. Well,
Yes.
some mentality, no.
But that is the American way. Ghana for so be catch so chroma de ubia de ka. Okay. But please don't buy that. I call it CRAB.
CR. Okay.
Okay.
Crap.
Okay. Because ubia de kano, it has to be good debt, which
That's
we will
true.
talk about it in another way.
Okay.
Okay. It has to be good debt. Good debt includes student loans, which is a different category all by itself.
That's
Good
true.
debt is going to the hospital, having a surgery that you never planned for, and your insurance did not cover everything. It's good debt. Okay. Good debt is your roof collapsed and you needed a new roof. Okay. The roofing company said we can finance it for you. It's good debt. But everything else that you can do without, I don't think I will encourage that. Let's get into the habit of using cash if we can. If you go to the grocery store and you have a list and you have cash, you tell yourself, after I finish this list, I cross out and my cash is gone, I'm done. If you have that thing that you can chew, okay, you will buy things that you may not need right away. Because the card is readily available and accessible, you're going to use it to make purchases of items that you may not need right away. If you were to go to your pantry right now and sample items that are there, you will see that some of the items are about to expire or have expired because you didn't need them. You just bought them just in case.
Just in case.
Okay. The money would have been used or channeled towards something else.
Awesome, great. All right, Doc. So let me ask this question. You've given us this succinct, description of how we need to use cash versus credit. Now, I have this issue about, of course, stores like Costco, and I'm sure most of you do use it. They have what we call a city card, where you can use. They give you 5% cash back for buying gas, 3% for grocery, and all that. I think I'm trying to arrive at this term called self-control. If you have self-control and you can actually apply it works for my wife and I, our family. It works where you do the purchases using the city card. It's a credit card. You use it at the end of the month. Your bill comes. If you are disciplined enough to be able to pay that debt off, you don't incur any interest rate, and at the end of the year, you still get some cash back, which I would say is a good thing. But I want you to give us your version about how effective that is. I know it's worked for me as long as we are paying the balance every month. You don't have any, but some people don't have that discipline, or they will say, okay, let me just pay the minimum amount, and that also is detrimental. So if you can comment on that, in a bit.
Yeah. So in the Bible, it says that the root of money is what?
The love of money.
The love of money is the root of all evil. So there's nothing wrong about having money.
Okay.
Obviously, there is nothing wrong about having a credit card or a debit card. There's nothing wrong. You use the word discipline.
Okay.
Okay. It's not common to 99.9% of us. Okay. There are a few people that this could be applicable, whereby they make the purchase and then they use the cash to make payment.
Okay.
Okay. If you are not disciplined, please, credit cards are not for you.
That's true.
Okay. And it's very, very tempting. And I don't want to be gender biased, but men and women, we all fall into that trap.
Exactly.
If you were to let loose your spouse, and I'm not going to say your wife, your spouse, okay, to go window shopping with a credit card in their purse or their wallet.
It doesn't become window shopping anymore.
No. Yeah. So we have a Tommy.
I know.
At idea no, it's somehow crowd so much number share. And Pabua cry no, a summa was in many gum. And doc, discipline, I don't know if we are born with it or if you have to take a class to learn how to be disciplined. I don't know. But if it doesn't work for you, please don't set yourself up because you will definitely fail.
Awesome. Doc, me were a few other discussions we have to do, like the college funding for kids, paying off our home early, and what is the building with. And we have only 40 minutes because we have to be disciplined and stop on time today. I know. I'm just going to assume and trust that you'll be available next week for us to continue, God willing. Even if you don't, we'll continue another time. So these 3 topics left are very, very important. But I want us to see what Ghana for in discussion. I hope some of them are listening to us. Lady B here on make broadcast be, and it actually touched me. Or patch say abrochi no so Ghana no go for PA make this argument so abrochi Ghana to say which I don't buy into, and that's not where I'm going. But this woman made a video, no patch say abrochi. The good thing about abrochi is you can live on credit. That is, your integrity, your credit score will help you to be able to buy some things on credit and pay small. That is one of the good things versus some of the African countries where that is not visible. And in Ghana, for instance, outside in the experience, we use credit a lot. You know, as long as our credit score in the year now, credit will be to me, but Ghana, no, for instance, Ghana, no, almost this option where people want to set up businesses. I know family people who want to set up businesses, but almost banks now, yeah, more loan a bit my the agent should get in one part, it is lack of integrity because some banks is okay. Scan the more almost collateral problem by them, or maybe Gina Homenas loan, it could be and almost all munis can almost blame businesses, banks, government. So you are not helping us. So now the problem is, the government or business owners are not trusting the people to give them loan to start, and the people who get a loan, they don't have integrity to pay back. In this way, I don't think maybe we schedule for this, but what way can we help them? How can the government have trust in the people to help them with some loan to increase their business, and how can our people to have integrity to pay back for that to continue? Because like I said, I had so good credit score, the opposite that banks much now now ability to pay. Please help us on that one.
Okay. This is called Catch 2020.
Okay.
I will say or for some of us, I think we have a comparative advantage.
Okay.
Because of the fact that if you work, I wouldn't say if you work, when you work and you are able to make payments, you can afford anything from a house to a car to any kind of investment. Okay. In Ghana, no, the challenge we have is underwriting.
Okay.
If an underwriter gets your loan and they look at who you are and what you don't have, it's very difficult for them to underwrite you for a loan. Unfortunately, a lot of people have gotten loans and have disappeared. Okay, leaving the bank with bad debt.
That's true.
It's not only banks, even family members that you loan money to. The next thing you know, they say, "Hey, why you crater be to sue me no?" The next thing you know, they have benefited from your money, but they will refuse to pay you back. And sometimes we bring a lot of these things upon ourselves. I know of a friend who did something that is very admirable. He set up a bank account, put about $5,000 in it, and then when he went home, his siblings asked him for money, and he told them, "I can only take a loan for you, but I can take you to the bank. You have to bring your own collateral." So they brought their own mother as a collateral.
Wow.
And he was able to loan them $1,000 each for 5 of their siblings. Okay. They were afraid that the bank will take their mother.
Their mom. Okay.
So every month they were making payment. Within 4 or 5 months, they paid off the bank loan, and they said, "Uncle or bra, right now we don't own the bank. We've had our own money. We have
Wow.
our own capital. And he's done that for about 50 people.
Wow.
He will put the money in the bank and he will take you there. You withdraw the money in your name. And every month the bank expects you to make payment. Otherwise, they will repossess everything that you use the money for.
Including your mother. That's laudable.
Including your mother. And so this can be a way for us to set up trust funds, if I can use that term, for our own family members. I have this vision, which I've been discussing with my family, that in a few years, when God permits me to retire, I will use some of my money, my retirement money, to set up trust funds for people. So, for example, in a small village where I know everybody eats kenke, everybody eats bread, I will loan people money to bake the bread overnight, make the kenke overnight. If you want to sell kenke, you go there in the morning, they will give you $50 or 50 cedis worth of kenke. Once you've finished and then you pay them, they will give you another 60, another 70, and so on. So if you don't work, you don't get paid. Okay.
That is great.
And I think teaching people how to become self-sufficient will reduce over-dependency, because some of us, it doesn't matter how much money you send home, you will still be considered as the next thing you know, and yet, people send cars home and do work and pay. They double the price, and people make the sales within 1 year. Okay, because watika wafa. Eso de koma unia ni de obeska lady.
Yeah,
so we need to come up with a better system. I mean, everybody living here is smart. Do what is best and do something that will be helpful for your community. A very good example, very, very good example. Everybody buys sachet water. Okay. Everybody in Ghana buys sachet water. If you have a deep freezer and you can produce, say, 1,000 cedis worth of sachet water a day, get the young girls who are just roaming down the street. If they want to work, okay, if they want to work, set them up with just 100 cedis a day. Okay, if they get 50 cedis profit, give it to them. They pay your $100. The next day they come, you give them another 100 cedis. They sell, they give you your $100. They take their profit. You are not giving them money for free. You are helping them to work for themselves.
Yeah, give them what we call the capital. No,
it's microfinance, So I'm sorry, not all of us will be granted loans when we go to banks, but we can find ways out. If my dream becomes materialized and I get you, Dr. Boison, and I get Dr. Opoku-Agyeman, Dr. Osetutu, and we all decide that we're going to bring $1,000 each, okay? And we have $4,000, which is about 24,000 Ghana cedis.
Times 6, yeah.
Okay? We can help 50, 60, 70 people in one sitting.
That is true.
Okay? We're not just going to give them $100, just go home and use it. You work, you get paid. If you don't work, you don't get paid. Same applies here. If you rent a house or an apartment, they don't care whether you work or not, whether it snows or rains. At the end of the month, you will never see your landlord, but they want their money. Okay? Ghanaians have been used to hand me down.
Yeah, give it to me free. That is a problem. That is a problem.
Somebody will call you and say, "Oh, uncle, I want an Apple Watch. I want an Apple phone." Okay? You go to an Apple store and you pick up iPhone 13 Pro, $1,600. And yet they will ask you, "Oh, uncle, where do you go? Now I roll Apple Watch, now the Manu, now the Apple phone Manu. But now they come over $2,000. Unuabano, Wanyashi, but Wajoho $2,000.
Wow.
I don't think it's a very sound business practice.
These are some of the things we have to be discussing because it's been my dream and my vision, and it's something that we can actually do. Because I mean, Western Union, like it's a one-way traffic. It doesn't come from there back, but we have to let people know when you give them something to do, they should be able to account for it. So loan or bejipo, with the one loan adama won't find interest won't count. On find ye jumaka kapona with the own to your back and that's all fine. I mean, that's why I mentioned integrity, because I know people are willing to help. And but the integrity on the other aspect, it's not working. Like you said, we will talk about Mobi or the Bejuma because only has sense of ownership. Me on the toy bread or fast no man or bread into or who blow into Chinibia, so can I say? But if they have that sense of ownership, they will take them care of them very well. And so it works two ways. Let the integrity of your other people work very well, and people are willing to help because we'll be myself or what good score, credit score, and also what good credit. No bit na kwajibusia e the album or they start business. But say bit me, I'm a business now flourish no bit to your back, out of that is the problem. So Doc, like I said, questions I may have other areas no I think tackle no yen to me and touch into me person be rush. I am just praying, say, Minya again next week or the following week for us to go back because these are very, very important discussion. We didn't go into the investment. We didn't go into the college fund. We didn't talk about paying up home early. We'll take it gradually because I believe these are very good platform a bit to use the education conform because you and I, we finished our PhD. What are we doing? What are we giving back? It's a community service. That is why we are doing this to, help the people. None of us get paid for this. But we thank Dr. Sedis for creating this platform where we can use to educate people. And Dr. Manu is also on our health as well show. So you'll be seeing him every now and then, frequently on our health show. So Doc, thank you very much. Like I said, there's a program exactly at 70 and they even go beyond that. But thank you for making yourself available. Any closing remarks for us before we leave?
Well, from my experience, we are all rich and we've been endowed with such great wisdom.
That's true.
Everybody living here will attest that God has given us more resources than we can ever use.
That's true.
And one of the resources is to be able to use our brains. Okay. I will tell you this. If you work at Walmart, you will probably not become a Walmart supervisor or Walmart director.
Okay.
If you can carve up some of your time to educate yourself, okay, I'm not talking about only financial literacy, but even if it's 3 months course, 6 months course, 1 year course, 4-year degree, 2-year master's, 4-year PhD, double master's, double PhD, please do it.
Amen.
Because it's going to come in handy.
That's
and
true.
At some point, you're going to have financial control. Okay? At some point, you will not have to work 2 jobs. At some point, you may not even have to work 3 jobs.
That's true.
And you will have time for yourself and your families. Because we are raising smart children.
That's true.
If you leave them, they're going to go haywire. They're going to go somewhere that you don't want them to go. At the same time, you want to work and provide for them. But your absence is causing some of our children to go different directions.
That's true.
And so I will encourage, this is not part of the financial literacy seminar that we are learning, but important. I want to encourage all of us that this new year, go online, speak to any enrollment advisor and ask them, hey, I don't know what to do. Can you tell me the programs available? I want short course, okay? Because I only graduated from high school in Ghana. I just need something that I can do that I will be able to take care of me and my family.
That's true.
Please, please, please think about it with your family. Don't let the man tell you, oh, mami kwaye adwuma na wotina fie. A time will come when the man may not be there for you.
That's true.
Okay? A baby bedua, be man no enya ne masters was wo for phone sebe me do kwa bonti enye
Me ferry.
okay, because one tibrofo me kwa nkofo a me no mo ro no omo tibrofo enso ne bia oba no na ye adwuma hwewa Ghana for me ma yenta nyi aye enti do something for yourself.
Amen.
Even
Amen.
if it's something with a certificate with your name on it, frame it, put a big frame around it and put it something visible. It will build your self-esteem. It will make you comfortable in the future.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I'm out of time. So I just want to say thanks to Vida Yawuni. I want to say thanks to Comfort Boison, Lydia Boison, my wife, and Bepa Anoro for joining us. Thank you very much, Doc. I don't have words to thank you. Thank you very much. I pray that we'll meet again next week and continue because this is so interesting, so exciting, so informative and educational. But because of time, I have to release the studio for Dr. Ostus. Thank you for lending me 2 minutes, Dr. Ostus. So Doc, I'll see you next, God willing. If you don't have time to, we'll continue because this is awesome and we have to serve our community by giving it the knowledge that we have. Thank you. Say hi to Stavera and have a good evening. Thank you very much. Listeners, I'll catch you again next week. Bye-bye.